In this video, we will explore how particles can behave like waves. We will state de Broglie's hypothesis and define the de Broglie wavelength of a particle. Afterwards, we will see how the diffraction of electrons provided evidence for the wave nature of particles. Recall that electromagnetic waves exhibited evidence of particle behavior in the photoelectric effect. So it raises the question about whether or not particles can also behave like waves. As we will find out in this video, the answer will be a resounding yes. De Broglie hypothesized that all moving particles have wave-like properties, and this will be most evident in very small particles such as protons and electrons. If a particle acts like a wave, it should have a wavelength. So we defined the de Broglie wavelength of a particle as the wavelength associated with a moving particle, and it is given by the Planck constant divided by the particle's momentum. Since the momentum of a particle is given by its mass multiplied by its velocity, then we can also express the de Broglie wavelength using the following equation. To get an idea about the order of magnitude, let's calculate the de Broglie wavelength for an electron that has been accelerated to a speed of 4 × 10⁶ meters per second. This can be done by using the equation for de Broglie wavelength and substituting in the relevant values, where the rest mass of an electron is equal to 9.11 × 10⁻31 kilograms from the data booklet. This gives a de Broglie wavelength of 1.82 × 10⁻10 meters. To verify de Broglie's hypothesis, we need to observe behavior that is characteristic of waves but not particles, such as diffraction. Recall that light passing through a narrow slit creates an interference pattern as opposed to a single bright band on the screen. One experiment that showed the wave nature of particles was the diffraction of an electron beam. In this setup, electrons are emitted from a heated filament and are accelerated to high velocities using a large potential difference. The electrons pass through a thin graphite sample which has a very organized structure made up of tiny crystals. If electrons behave like particles, there would only be very small deviations in their paths due to collisions with the carbon atoms, and we would expect to see a bright region in the center of the screen indicating where the electrons landed on the screen. But instead, this experiment resulted in bright circular rings on the screen, which is similar to the interference pattern obtained when light passes through a slit or around an object. This could only be explained if electrons behaved like waves, and so electron diffraction provided strong evidence that particles can in fact behave like waves. Now recall that the diffraction of waves is greater when the slit width becomes comparable in length to the wavelength of the wave. When electrons are incident on the thin graphite sample, electron diffraction occurs because at high velocities such as 10⁶ meters per second, the de Broglie wavelength of electrons is around 10⁻⁻10 meters, which is the same order of magnitude as the spacing between the atoms in graphite. So the gaps between atoms act like slits to electrons. When electrons are accelerated through a potential difference, they gain a kinetic energy equal to QV, where Q is the charge and capital V is the potential difference. Since kinetic energy can also be stated in terms of momentum, we can rearrange this to make momentum the subject, and then get an expression for the de Broglie wavelength in terms of the charge and potential difference. From this expression, when the potential difference accelerating the electrons is increased, electrons will have greater speed and momentum when they arrive at the graphite. This means the de Broglie wavelength of the electron decreases, and similar to other diffraction relationships, a smaller wavelength leads to smaller diffraction angles, and hence the diameter of the diffraction rings will be reduced with smaller spacing between them, compared to electrons accelerated with a smaller potential difference. If de Broglie's hypothesis is true, we might wonder why we don't see these aspects in everyday life. The main reason for this is that Planck's constant is very small, and this results in extremely small de Broglie wavelengths for everyday objects. For instance, a 70 kilogram person running at 3 meters per second would have a de Broglie wavelength of 3.16 × 10⁻⁻36 meters. This is 10 to the negative 26 times smaller than the size of a typical atom, and the effects of such tiny wavelengths are so small that they would never be noticed in everyday life. We will now provide a final summary of the key understandings from this video. De Broglie hypothesized that all moving particles have wave-like properties. Moreover, we defined the de Broglie wavelength of a particle as the wavelength associated with a moving particle, and it is given by the Planck constant divided by the particle's momentum. We then saw that the production of diffraction rings in electron diffraction experiments provided strong evidence that particles can behave like waves. This is because high-velocity electrons had a de Broglie wavelength comparable in length to the spacing between atoms in graphite. This now concludes our video on the wave nature of particles. Thank you for watching.